now I'm going to Little Falls. Yeah. Everywhere on the Potomac, basically. Woohoo! Yep. Have a good one.
A lot of people have been asking me recently, how the heck do you make a cart to pull a kayak on a bicycle? I spent a lot of time looking that up myself, didn't find much information, and so I had to figure it out on my own. And so I might as well make that resource for you guys. You can see what I've done, learn from my mistakes, and see what problems I have right now. This is my current cart. It is a composite of various pieces of different things. These are obviously some J cradles that are designed for a roof rack. I put these on obviously to hold the boat in a more comfortable position. I can't get a boat to fit in between these wheels without rubbing, and I thought about just putting up some bars on the sides to hold it vertically. This cart came with a couple walls that went up, but then my boat was just kind of wobbling around. It wasn't really in there in a pretty firm way, so I put the J cradles on. They work a lot better. They came with some straps. They're not the greatest straps in the world, but guess what? They work, and I can use the extra length of strap to tie my paddle onto the boat. This frame came with some pretty crappy tires, so I swapped those out for some very nice Burley wheels. However, I just found out that these particular Burley tires are not designed for pavement, and they're wearing through. I wrote to Burley to ask for some advice, and they predictably said that this is not safe, it's not tested. They can't give me any advice except that I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, which, you know, every company has lawyers, so whatever. This cart also came with a very crappy arm, so I installed a better and longer piece of aluminum. I had to shim it out with some plastic to get the right angle for the pull with the extended arm. So you're just gonna have to figure that out for whatever works for you. Because this is a custom job. You're gonna have to figure out your own custom job. This arm I did connect to the original Burley connector that I had that goes right onto the attachment on the bicycle. Whatever bike you're using, you're gonna have to get one of these pieces. Or, you know, I originally had a connection that would sit in the axle. That was kind of a pain in the neck to undo and redo every day, so I got the quicker release. You can see that I had to use a little string to tie this together. It's falling apart on me the other day, but it works like this. You just stick it in, put this around here for the sake of not losing it, and this pin goes in here. Okay, and that holds really well. This is a flexible connector. You can tip this cart over and it will stay connected. It might knock your bike over, but it will stay connected. This is obviously rusting and falling apart. I left this stroller wheel on only because it allows me to have this bow line, which with the bar off to the side, this bow line helps stabilize the boat when it's on. Otherwise, the shimmy is out of control and you will crash immediately, pretty much. And then, you know, when I want to take it apart, it's really simple. I just pull the pin out, undo this, and I'm good to go. I got a very thick bar here and attached it with a couple aluminum L's to the Burley connector. I had to drill some holes, whatever, get some bolts. Use some lock washers to hold this in place. If you don't use lock washers or some sort of locking system, it will fall apart on you because it rattles a lot and those nuts will come loose. I will caution you against using a thin aluminum bar. I originally started with this bar. I got it from, I don't know, some big box hardware store. It is very thin. It worked for a long time. And then I stuck a creek boat on here, threw an extra battery into the boat because sometimes I like to go far, and this bar was not supposed to bend, but the weight of the the boat and the battery and all the gear I have just bent the bar. Too many bumps in the road. I mean, that's a heck of a bend. So I went online and got much thicker aluminum, and this is what I use now. It's a lot heavier. It was not cheap. This aluminum bar is the most expensive part of this entire cart, and yeah, that's what I had to do though. I do have some more tires on order, which is about to become now the most expensive part. The reason I got those tires, I did say this was a disaster. The wheels that came with this cart, I don't know, they couldn't handle it. It broke very quickly. The original Burley wheels on my first cart actually are still pretty strong, but that cart itself had issues. So my first cart, this is what's left of it. I got this for $10 off of Craigslist. Somebody had their kid grow up, didn't need it anymore. I used this for a long time. All I did was shove a boat through here. Didn't need J cradles or anything. It just stayed and put underneath this. I had a strap that went underneath and around the boat. Not a big deal. However, what happened is, after using this enough, the aluminum bars on each side cracked, and then the final straw was that one of the dropouts cracked. And welding aluminum is not cool. It was just not worthwhile to fix this. And so I switched to the stainless steel cart that I have now. One of the things that isn't obvious when you stick a J cradle on a really thin steel bar like this is that the connection probably will not sit well on the connection. So I just took some old bike inner tubes and wrapped them around and around the bar until it was thick enough that I could crank down and have my J cradle stay more or less in place. They wiggle a little bit when I stick a boat on there. It's generally good to go. Obvious problems with this cart. This is a cheap cart. It is rusting all over the place. I don't know how long it's gonna last. It's rusting pretty severely. I can't get my longboat on it yet, which is a shame, but I can get everything else on it. So I'm due for some new modifications at some point whenever I get around to it. We'll see.
See it. Come on, across. Pedestrians always have the right of way. Hello. Thanks. Hey, pup. Watch your booty. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you in the bike lane?
How's your day going?
So far, good.
What time you went out?
I usually get out the door around 6.
Damn, you get on the bike?
Yeah.
Bad motherfucker. All right, have a good day, man.
You too.